everyone, welcome to Eurovisionology, the study of Eurovision. You with Sven here, and this is Homeroom BLR20, the national selection talk of Belarus for Eurovision 2020. For this year, Belarus has set up the national selection process that have gathered many acts together, and eventually they have announced the final 12 acts that will be performed in the final of national selection. Belarus national final will be aired on the 28th of February. That means approximately 1 month from now, then we know who will represent Belarus this year for Eurovision 2020 in Rotterdam. For the final 12 songs, I have already listened to all of it. I have to admit that this is not the best national selections that we have seen in this year. I don't want to say that it is one of the worst because I haven't seen many other countries as well, and I'm not sure how other countries that have already announced their song are doing, because I still have Iceland to check, I still have Moldova to check, I still have Australia to check. So actually, I don't want to say that this is the words national selection, but I think there are more songs that I didn't like than the song that I like. Just to cut all the nonsense talking out, I will just talk about the ranking that I have put on the 12th song now. In all the 12 songs, I actually have categorized it into 4 types of songs. And in each type, I have 3 songs on the list. So the first one that I want to talk about is the song that I feel like, no, I don't think so. So let's start with the song that I like the least. So on the 12th place, it is the song Hello by Anastasiya Razvadovskaya. This song actually, I think it started off very nicely and it sounds modern, but then in the chorus part it just turned into just some generic pop song, and the chorus just sounds very weak, like very unmemorable. Like after I listened to it for a few times, like now I still cannot remember that chorus at all, and I think the vocals were just too weak as well. I actually don't have anything good to talk about as much, just because like even after listening to it for a few times, I can't even remember it. So I cannot see this in the Eurovision at all, because it will just get lost in any other good songs because it's not memorable enough. So sorry, that's my 12th. Next, on the 11th, we have here On Fire from Darya, Khmelnitskaya. This one is almost the same with Hello, that I think at the first few seconds I thought okay, maybe that's good, but after like the first chorus, then it just becomes like just the normal generic pop song and not even like a good quality one. I think this one it's only like the good thing is that it only sounds modern, but I didn't like the vocals much, I didn't like the technique of the singer much, and also I think it would need some revamp in the instruments as well, because it just sounds a little bit messy. So after listening to it for like 1 minute, then I think the song is just a little bit messy, like too many things are going on, and the vocals at least like in that live version that we've seen on the national selection process, it was just too loud. Like I think the technique of the singer is just not good enough, so that the vocal just didn't go well with the instruments, and it just sounds like too much of everything. So I wasn't really impressed by that. Yeah, sorry. Well, let's move on to the next one on my 10th. is the song Invisible by Anastasiya Malashkevich. What can I say about this one? Well, this one this one, I think the vocals is actually good, but it's just a little bit dated. Like this kind of singing would be good in Eurovision 15 or 20 years ago or something like that. Like in nowadays, if you gonna sing like this, there's no problem about it, but then the pronunciation must be good as well. Like now that she is singing with this technique that she used and very bad pronunciation, then the song just became a little bit too much and I didn't even understand like many words that she sang. So I just feels like if she didn't try to, well, maybe that's just her technique, but if she just reduced that techniques a little, and instead of saying like invincible, you know, like something like that, but it just sounds a little bit like too much. They're just saying like invisible, then it would sound like a lot better, because I know that she has good vocals, but then like by singing it like that, and also plus the bad pronunciation, I just feel like it's just too much. So no, it's a no for me. Sorry about that. Well, I just feel like so depressed only talking about 3 songs now. Well, let's move on to the next one. So on my next category, I have put this into like another 3 songs into the category of like, well, okay, something like, I think it's not that bad, but it's not that good as well. It's just like, yeah, okay, you know. So let's start with my 9th place. And I know many people say that they like this song. Like, you know, I've read some of the comments online, and I think people say that they like this song and they are rooting for her. But I actually didn't like it much. It is the song Don't Let Me Down by NAPOLI. It's just another generic pop song. I think there's like a very small potential that this could be good with like some big revamp, because I think the chorus is just very, very weak. It became very repetitive, and I think it just not impactful enough. And I don't know, I just think somehow the song just didn't get me. I just feel like this is just some generic pop song that I would hear from some radio, and after a few other songs, then I would just forget about it. Like there's nothing memorable that I would remember. Yeah, I know that many people is rooting for her because she's been in the national selections in the past few years, I believe. But I still don't think that this is her year. Well, let's just move on to my 8th place. So this is Fire from Yarosh. This one is actually quite weird. I mean, not that the song is quite weird, but it gives me like weird feeling. Like I feel like I have a mixed feelings about this. I actually appreciated that it sounds very artistic. It sounds like something that, like, in being a ballad song, I think the singer actually make it sounds like this is his kind. This is his own song, and it doesn't sound like any other ballad song, because I think the tones and the keys that he used with his singing voice, it just sounds unique. But being unique could be good and could be bad, and I'm not sure if this is like a good uniqueness. at least not like 100%, because at the first time that I listen to it, I feel like there's something that's make me a little bit uncomfortable. I think it's just the tone that he used. At the same time, it sounds like unpredictable, because sometimes ballad song could be very predictable, but this one is like unpredictable because the keys and tones, it's not really like a tone that I think it would be sung. I'm not sure how to explain this, because like I said, it is really like a mixed feeling. It's like weird feelings about this, but like I said, I do appreciate his artistic style, but at the same time it makes me feel like uncomfortable. Not even mention the way that he's singing, but then like keep looking to the camera the whole time, and then like when he's enjoying playing piano, he just like get away from the camera and suddenly like staring back at the camera again. I think it's just a little bit creepy. Like sometimes being artistic and just like being the music, you don't even have to look at the camera like that, and it could really like make it feel more sincere, because I think the song is like very dramatic, and it shows his sincerity to the woman that he's singing about. I don't know, it make me feel like it's just weird. Like, I didn't mean that he's weird, but I just think the whole thing just looks a little bit weird to me. Yeah, I'll just leave it like that. Well, let's just move on to the next one. On my 7th, it is the song Barani Svajo from Aura. Well, this song, I feel like actually, like at the first time I listened to it, I was like, it's just a little bit dated, a little bit like too old-fashioned, but when I listened to it again, I was like, actually this is like, it gives its own style and its own vibes that other songs in this national selection didn't have. This song is like a very powerful rock country song, a country rock song that is sung by a very powerful rocky female vocals. And I think it sounds like, at the same time that it sounds like old-fashioned, but it reminds me of like some good music in, I don't know, like 30 years ago or something like that. That could be something that people still miss or still appreciate it. And I think this song actually have a good chorus, and especially in the ending, like the last chorus is just like very, very strong. If you overlook all that old-fashioned vibe, I think actually the song sounds like very powerful and could be impactful in its way. In saying that, that Eurovision has many audiences that are still youngsters and maybe not really like into this kind of music much, so I'm not sure how would this do. For me, I think it's like, it's not bad, but maybe it's not good enough to just represent Belarus this year yet. Well, so those are the songs that I don't feel like supporting much on at this stage. But the next one, or the next category, is the song that I can see that there's some potential. And let's start with the 6th place. On my 6th place, I have here Burning Again from Anastasiya Glamozda. So this one, actually, when it started, I feel like I really like the technique and the style and the vibe that the singer gave to me. It just feels like very haunting, very mysterious. But I just feel like the chorus lost me a little, just only because I just think the chorus didn't feel like impactful enough. The way that the instruments and the vocal built up from the beginning sounds like very mysterious, very dark, and then in the chorus it just turned into some like ballad pop and or like pop ballad, and I just feel like the interesting part was just gone or like missing. So I could see the potential in this one. If it comes with a very good revamp, then it can actually do well, and I can imagine some staging that is like dark and mysterious and just only like bringing some vibes that goes well with the song. So I could see some potential here. I think the singer's vocals could be very memorable if she sings it right at the big stage. So for me, I can only see potential, but it depends if the revamp would be done very nicely or not, if the staging will be good, if the singing will be good. So there's still many factors that is like going on that would make the show good or bad. So at this stage, I don't see that it's like a perfect choice to be sent, but I could see potential in this one here. Let's move on to the next one. On my 5th place, it is Rocky Road from Sasha Zakharik. This one, to me, when I listen to it for the first time, it just feels like, ooh, it's a Christmas in Eurovision. You know what I mean? It's just like the vibe that the song gives to me is actually like very cute, very warm and fuzzy. When I listen to it for the first time, it really reminds me of Michael Bublé's Haven't Met You Yet. And it just sounds very cute, sounds very approachable, and I think this kind of song could actually do well in Eurovision. It's not necessarily gonna be winning the whole thing, but I think this kind of song would have enough people to support it and to get through from the semi-final. Just like Leonora from Denmark last year, you know, it's just like very cute, giving good vibes, and then many people would still like this kind of song. And I think when I listen to the singer, I just feel that she is very approachable, she's very friendly, and I want to be friend with her and something like that. It just feels like she's very like a nice person. So I think people would really like enjoy it enough to help supporting her to go through from the semifinals to the final. It's not like the best song yet, but I think there's a potential here. On my 4th place, here I have Chili Pepper from KeySi. This one actually have some big potential to be on the big stage, because you know, like being a dance song can actually do well. Like we've seen many dance songs in the past few years that it has been done very nicely and got a good result, starting from Fuego from Eleni Furela, and then You Got Me from Luca Hemi. So it's like, could be this kind of music that people would vote for, but in saying that, maybe people is already like tired of this kind of music. But well, I would think that people would still enjoy this more than like being tired of it and not voting for it. But this one, if it gets to represent Belarus in the big stage, I think they really need to work on vocals, on instruments, and on choreography. I actually didn't like the dancing in it much. It just sounds like a little bit unfinished. Like at the same time that I feel like they could go like very sexy, but they stays at the level of like cheerleaders. I mean, no offense to the cheerleaders, but I mean this song is already built up like, you know, like I'm like a chili pepper, like I'm very hot, I'm fire, and then the dancing just not in that level. Like this song would need a choreography in the same level with Fuego, something like that. So I think it really needs more work if it gets to represent, but I feel like there's some big potential here as well. Now, let's move on to my top 3. So, in this category of my top 3, I think that any of this song would be a good choice to be sent to represent Belarus this year. Before I say all of these songs, I have to say again that I think Belarus have quite a weak national selection this year. So for me, in this top 3, they just have potential in each way that would stand out more than any other song that I mentioned before. So let's start with my third place. It's True Love from Angelika Pushnova. This one, the big plus, the big positive thing of the song is the singer herself. She just looked like she enjoys the stage so much. I'm pretty sure that she will have great stage presence. I'm sure that she can really deliver what she feels about the song, and that's actually could be very interesting to see. Like, it could draw attention because when people feel connect to her, then they would want to listen to her until finish the song, and hopefully could want to work for her as well. So I think that she just have a very likability that people could really like, and I think she's a good performer, she's a good vocalist. Maybe a little bit more work on the vocals, but I think she's actually doing well in that national selection show already. And I think the song is actually catchy. Maybe it needs a little bit more revamp again. Actually, I've been saying this for many other songs because I think that their songs are not completely well produced yet. So I think this song with the better quality producing team would really be a better song and could be a good choice to be sent in to represent in the big show as well. Then now we have 2 songs left, and after I say the second song, then you know what is my third song, right? So I have to say this first, that my winning song is, I know that many people didn't like it. When I read the comments on the websites and things, I just feel like this song actually didn't get much support, but I have the reason that I picked it, so I will talk about that again. So on my second place, it is the Vidna from Val. This one is actually very well produced, better production than any other song. That's how I feel like when I listen to it. I think the song sounds current and fresh and modern, and this kind of song could be if it's not well produced, it could be cheap or it could be what you call trashy. But this one I feel like it's actually expensive enough to be on the big stage. I think the producing team would have worked a lot to come out with this. I think the chorus is actually very addictive. That drop in the instruments somehow it just feels very addictive to me, and I feels if they want to pick a pop song to be sent, then this one would be the best choice in all of any other song that I feel very generic. So I think this is one of the best choice to be sent if they want to go with this style. Well, that's left me the last place to be talking about. I mean, the one on my first place, and it's the one that I like the most, is La-ley-la from CHAKRAS. Well, what can I say about this one? You might call me weird, you might call me strange, but I really enjoyed it. I really like it when I listen to it. In all the generic songs, could be boring selection, but then when this one hit me, I just feels like, oh, finally something that's very different, very unique. I'm not even sure if there's something like this in Eurovision before. I know that someone has compared this to 1995 Nocturnes from Norway, I believe, and that was a winning song as well. I think that one, most of the vibe that you got was actually from instruments, but this one you get the vibe from the vocalist, and I think their vocals actually like worked well in the harmony. Maybe like there's some more work that they need to do, because some part it just feels like someone is being too loud and someone's being too quiet or something like that. But I think they can actually work on it, and this one could really invoke a very good staging, like very dramatic but feels like relaxing as well. But you know, it really makes me feel like I'm in a elf land, like I'm in a Lord of the Ring or something like that, and it's just like a spatial vibe. I'm actually very excited. I was really excited when I listened to it for the first time. I was like, oh my god, this is good, this is good. And then after that, I checked on comment sections, and many people actually didn't like it. And I was like, what? Really? Because I really like it. I think it's like very different, very new, and very like, you know, it could really stand out in Eurovision. Like, do you dare to say that you can't remember them? No, you would remember them, right? So I think that's like, at least have some impact on people. And in all the song that people would forget, if you send this one Belarus, people would remember you, and I would even vote for this one, only that I actually live in a country that I cannot really vote for Eurovision now. But I really think that this has a very good potential to be voted for. So I really hope that this song would be sent to represent Belarus this year, because I think it's very unique. I really like it. So to CHAKRAS, if you have seen many of the negative comments that they don't really like your song, at least please know that you have my support, that I really like your song, and I really wish that you could get to represent Belarus this year. So I guess that's the conclusion for Homeroom BLR20, the national selection talk of Belarus for Eurovision 2020. What do you think about these songs? Just give me some comments below. What do you think about my top favorite songs? Don't be too harsh, because I know many people don't really like it, but I just happen to like it much. But well, just share your comment below, and if you like my video, if you want to see more of this, there are going to be a lot more videos to come, and if you don't want to miss any of those, don't forget to click subscribe below, and just leave me some comments. What do you feel about my video as well, and maybe pick a few winner songs that you think you like the most. I know that there's not too many good songs in this national selection, but pick something and give me some comments below. And when we know who's gonna be representing Belarus this year for Eurovision 2020 in Rotterdam, then I will come back again to talk about that winning song and show you my fresh reaction that I have already recorded when I listened to this song from the first time. I'm not gonna show it yet, but for the winning song, I will come back with that one and really show you how do I feel about that winning song when I listen to it for the first time. So thanks for checking Eurovisionology, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye for now!